Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So I'd like to welcome his uh, iskcon Sheshadipuram, Bangalore. So it's very fortunate to have Prabhuji Association. Prabhuji personally told me that there's so many places invitation is, but he wanted to choose only few places, and he has kept Bangalore in his heart. So very grateful to him. And so Prabhu's recently we were in Bliss Camp in Pune. So Duty was sharing that how Prabhu had attended his device sessions in Kunj Bihari Temple, Pune, and Prabhu had studied in ISC Bangalore here. So Bangalore Prabhu had that connection, and then Prabhuji joined in 2009 GV, and till 1 2 years he had seva of making mud bricks, and then Gaurangpu asked him, why not you become a why not take care of Vidyapeeth? And he started taking it as a service. And the study guide Subodhani had become such a immense opportunity for all devotees to deep dive into Shastras. And I remember hearing from him Bhakti Vaibhav classes that was so amazing, enriching, enlivening. And at the same time, is a devotee of relationships when Prabhu's classes on Vaishnav Sadachar, humility, and things that were very inspiring to us. So let us welcome His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu by one time chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare.
Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees at iskcon Sheshadipuram. Very happy and grateful to be amongst all of you here after some gap. I was asked to speak on Kaliya Damana Lila, how Krishna subdued Kaliya. How many of you know this story already? Practically everybody knows, including children. But why are we discussing this same pastime again, which we have heard, read, and we even must have spoken it several times? The idea of coming together for Krishna Katha is not always to learn something new, but to rejuvenate our enthusiasm in the path of bhakti and to recommit ourselves to the path of Krishna consciousness and to repeatedly, regularly relish Krishna Katha. Krishna enacts the same pastimes repeatedly. Krishna enacts this Damodar Lila, Govardhan Lila, Murdabhakshana Lila, Kaliya Daman Lila, repeatedly. If Krishna is not bored of repeatedly enacting the pastimes, how can the devotees be bored of repeatedly hearing the same pastimes? Because every time a pastime is enacted or discussed or heard or spoken or remembered, the pastime reveals something very fresh, something very new, something that inspires our heart to come closer to Krishna. Every single episode of Srimad Bhagavatam, every single shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, every single line of a shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, every single syllable of a line of a shloka of an episode of Srimad Bhagavatam has the potency to illuminate our consciousness and expand our perspective
Krishna,
in
Krishna.
spiritual life to an unlimited degree. So we can never underestimate the potency of Srimad Bhagavatam to perpetually inspire us. The
मेरे को एक चम्मच
inspiration that
देना
we
साहब.
get from Srimad Bhagavatam is not one time. It's not like a general motivational talk which sometimes acts like a painkiller. Sometimes somebody is little down, depressed, demotivated. Oh, you can do anything. Please get up. There is some motivation given. That's good. People may feel little enthused to recommit to their work. But sometimes the motivation that we receive on a material platform will not last for a long time. It boosts our confidence temporarily, but after some time, gone. It acts like a painkiller. Again, the same pain comes. But the pastimes of Krishna, the glories of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, they are not like material motivation that we receive to artificially or temporarily boost our confidence. But these pastimes of Krishna are equipped with so much of nectar that can perpetually, permanently, eternally enthuse us in the path of bhakti. In your practice of Krishna consciousness, you must have taken up so many services. How many of you are at least a decade old in bhakti? Last 10 years you are practicing bhakti, chanting Hare Krishna. How many of you are in that category of 1 decade old at least? Okay, at least half of you. How many are 5 years old? How many are in 20 years practicing bhakti? Okay. So whether you are 5 year old in bhakti, Kaumara, uh, or 10 year old in bhakti, Poganda, 15-year-old in bhakti, Kaishwara, or you are in Yavana, beyond 15, 16. These pastimes of Krishna we are hearing regularly. The same mantra we are chanting. A 15-year-old devotee and a 2-year-old devotee chants the same mantra. Hears the same book, Bhagavatam. Takes the same darshan of deities, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Radha, Krishna, Gaurnitai. In this material world, our activities may change, our roles may change, our responsibilities may change. But while many things are subjected to change, some things never change. The Maha Mantra doesn't change. The potency of Maha Mantra doesn't change. Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't change. Even after 10 years or 10,000 years or 10 million yugas, Bhagavatam doesn't change. The potency of Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't change. And Bhagavatam's ability to inspire our hearts to be connected to Krishna, that will never change. So, in this world of constantly changing situations and circumstances and roles and responsibilities, it is our responsibility to hold on to those things that will never change. What will never change? Mahamantra doesn't change. Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't change. Bead bag and Bhagavatam. Just hold on to this B and B, two B's, sufficient. Of course, we have to take other responsibilities also. Services may change, but service attitude doesn't change. The principle of rendering service to Krishna, Guru, and Vaishnavas will not change. The nature of service may change. Today you may worship deities, and after some time you become old. You may not be able to worship the deities. That's okay. Do some other service. When you are older, the wealth of your experience becomes a source of nourishment and guidance for so many devotees, isn't it? That's why devotees who are very seniors, who are very experienced in practicing Krishna consciousness, they can guide the younger ones. So that wealth of experience is a great source of nourishment for many, many hundreds of devotees. So the principle of service will not change. As a youngster, you may do a lot of physical services. You may cook, you may cut vegetables, you may do late nights. Just now I am coming from that Swarnotsav, the Golden Jubilee celebrations of ISKCON Abits at Hyderabad. Hundreds and thousands of devotees came. I was told around 2 lakh devotees came in that 4 day event. I don't know the statistics, but several devotees I have been witnessing. Although yesterday night program went till 10, 10:30, and after that kirtan, it may go to 11, 11:30, I don't know. Devotees are there. Uh, Such a huge hall, it's filled with devotees. They're not moving only. They're hearing Krishna Katha, they're participating in kirtans, uh, they're witnessing these beautiful cultural programs. Enthusiasm. So now, in this event, we know so many devotees, they stretched themselves, they extended themselves a lot. Some devotees and brahmacharis, they were just sleeping hardly 4 hours in a day, uh, extending themselves for services, hosting so many devotees, making all kinds of preparations, right? Sometimes service demands our time, our attention, uh, our absorption. And when you're young, you may be able to do that. With changing circumstances, changing situations, we need to hold on to those things that will never change. That is the principle of seva will not change. Nature of seva will change. Maha mantra will not change. The mode in which you take shelter of Maha mantra may change. Sometimes japa, sometimes kirtan, sometimes fast kirtan, sometimes slow kirtan, sometimes shayan kirtan, sometimes guru puja kirtan. But mantra will not change. Bhagavatam, that will not change. Uh, I like you may read Bhagavatam, you may hear Bhagavatam, you may write Bhagavatam, you may speak Bhagavatam, you may speak Bhagavatam to seasoned devotees or new devotees or children. So we have seen Bhagavatam being presented to all types of audiences, but Bhagavatam doesn't change. Its presentation style may change according to the need of the people, but Bhagavatam itself doesn't change. So we need to hold on to this uh, never changing aspects of bhakti in this ever changing world. So let's discuss one pastime of Krishna, which we have discussed hundreds and thousands of times. We read, we spoke, we heard, we contemplated upon this Kaliya pastime hundreds of times. But the relish that it offers, the perspective that the pastime offers, the the potency of the pastime to bring us closer to Krishna is intact. Just because you heard a pastime 10 times or 20 times, the pastime's potency to inspire you will not be diminished. A mundane movie, materialistic movie, may excite you, enthuse you uh, once, twice, thrice, or you may see the same movie 10 times, but after some time you may get bored. But devotees Kaliya or Govardhan hundreds of times, thousands of times since 5,000 years, since Sukadeva Goswami spoke. And even before that also, they were being discussed. Eternal Leelas. No boredom. No boredom. So let's begin the pastime. One day, Krishna and all the Gopas went into the forest along with their cows. And Krishna saw that some of these Gopa boys who went to take some water in the Kaliya lake, they drank that water and fell unconscious. And Krishna immediately ran towards them to revive them with his nectarian glances. Krishna brought them back to life. That day, whenever Balram is absent, Krishna becomes more adventurous. Because Yashoda Mata always entrusts Krishna to Balaram. Krishna, you're very naughty. You're very mischievous. Every day you go into the forest, we don't know. Your mind is very restless. You may enter deep into ferocious forests. You may walk on rough pathways. Your tender feet will be affected by rough grasses and pebbles and stones and thorns. Be careful. Balaram, you always walk in front of Krishna and protect him. Like that, Mother Yashoda always entrusts Krishna to Balaramji, and Balaram is responsible for Krishna's protection. Although Balaram is an expansion of Krishna, but still, in his earthly pastimes, Balaramji becomes the protector of Krishna. He's not only a brother, but he has that Vatsalya affection, like a caretaker of Krishna. With Vatsalya affection, he protects Krishna. And Yashodamata trusts Balram. Balram is supposed to control Krishna. But when Balram is not around, Krishna becomes uncontrollable. Krishna becomes uncontrollable in the sense that he wants to explore more. And interestingly, in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that there are two snake pastimes. What are they? Aghasur and Kaliya. These two snake pastimes happened when Balramji is absent. Because Balram is the supreme snake, na? Anantasesh. He's Anantasesh. So Krishna, I don't know, he likes to play with snakes probably. He has been playing with Balram and Balram is not around. So Krishna subdued Kaliya when Balram was not there. Of course, by the time Krishna subdued Kaliya, Balramji arrived there, but Kaliya pastime began when Balram was not around. Krishna came on the bank of this lake and he saw all these boys unconscious. And Krishna revived them with his nectarian glands. And he thought, I must teach a lesson to this Kaliya. Because Kaliya is poisoning these waters of Yamuna lake. And this lake is meant for the humanity, for all the Vrajavasis. This lake has become so poisonous that there are vapors, poisonous vapors, as if this whole lake is boiling and all poisonous vapors are coming up. Even from a distance, if someone smells these poisonous vapors, they will faint. Even birds also cannot dare to fly. If a bird flies above this lake, the bird will fall unconscious or die. Even animals or cows, they don't come to this lake to drink water there. Even trees also can't survive because of this so much of poison in this lake. The territory, the shore of this lake does not have any plants. But there is one tree which is still surviving. It was a Kadamba tree. So this Kadamba tree was surviving for various reasons that everybody knows. But one reason for the survival of Kadamba tree on the bank of this Kaliya lake is this Kadamba tree is meant to assist Krishna in his pastime of subduing Kaliya. Just to assist Krishna in this pastime, this Kadamba tree survived. See, in this world, our survival may be subjected to so many constraints. We may or may not be able to survive considering the material circumstances. Sometimes there may be drought, famine, flood, excessive heat, excessive cold. Many people don't survive. But there are some people who survive for a long, long time. Why? What's the reason? Probably Krishna had a plan for them. Why Jambavan is living for so many yugas? Because Krishna had some service for them. Jambavan participated in the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra and he also participated in the pastimes of Krishna. He also participated in the pastime of Vamanadev. Why Jambavan is living for so many yugas? Why Hanumanji is still there in Kimpur Shaloka doing some Ram Bhajan? Why Hanumanji is coming and sitting in every single Ramakatha that's happening across the globe? The Lord has a plan. Now, all the Vanaras who participated in Lord Ramachandra's pastimes, they went back to the eternal Ayodhya Dham. Why Hanumanji is still around? Of course, Hanuman is there in the spiritual world of Ayodhya also, he's there here also, but he's here also. That's the main point. So, sometimes a devotee or any living being may stay for a long, long time, although all their contemporaries uh, could not stay for a long time. All the plants died there on the shore of this Kaliya lake. Only this Kadamba tree survived. Why? Krishna had a plan. Similarly, you may be living in a place, all the people who are living in that place, for various reasons, they must have gone to different places. But you happen to be there for a long, long time. Maybe Krishna wants you to do some service there. So, when things happen unconventionally, when situations manifest not according to our expectations or strategies or plans, but they just happen on their own, please understand it's Krishna's plan. Krishna has a plan for us. All plants died, Kadamba tree also has to die. You may say there is a drop of nectar there, that's correct, agreed. But why the drop of nectar fell on this Kadamba tree only? Because Kadamba tree is meant to assist Krishna in his pastimes. Krishna's will is the ultimate reason for anything to happen. Others are secondary reasons, right? So Krishna thought, I need to subdue this Kaliya. And Krishna climbed on this Kadamba tree. Jalashaye Kaliyamardhanaya Yada Kadambat Apatan Murari Gopanganascha Krushuretya Gopa Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Jalashaya Kaliyamardhanaya. Krishna wanted to enter this Jalashaya. He wanted to enter this lake. Jalashaya means lake. For what? Kaliyamardhanaya. To subdue Kaliya. But how did he enter the lake? He just entered the lake just by walking? No. Yada kadamban apatan murari. First he climbed this kadamba tree and from there he jumped into the lake. Gopanganascha krushuretya gopa Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. When Krishna jumped into that lake, all the Gopa boys on the shore of the lake, they were chanting the names Govinda, Damodara, Madhava. What's happening? Why are you entering this lake? For Krishna is more powerful than their awareness of Krishna's power. Therefore, they're concerned about Krishna's safety. Out of their affection for Krishna, they're not thinking that Krishna is God. He has killed so many demons. They are becoming very much concerned about Krishna's safety. Krishna, what will happen to you? This lake is filled with poisonous waters. Vapors, poisonous vapors are coming. What will happen to you, Krishna? Krishna. They're just crying for Krishna, chanting his names. This is love. When a devotee becomes so absorbed in Krishna prema, they forget that Krishna is God. They are so absorbed in love for Krishna that they don't become consciously aware of Krishna's godhood and his powers also. That's the nature of Vrajavasis. We are not on that level, but we can definitely appreciate that bhakti can take us to that level. Bhakti can bring us to that level. So Krishna jumped into Kaliya lake and he was swimming. While Krishna was swimming, with every movement of his hand, this water in this lake is like raising 100 bow lengths above the ground level, and just Krishna is splashing that water, and the water is just going on the shore also, inundating the shores. When a 6-year-old child jumps into water, how much water will be splashed? And when he moves his little hands, how much agitation can he create in that water? But Krishna's every movement of Krishna's hand is creating so much of agitation in this Kaliya lake that all the snakes in that lake, especially Kaliya, become so perturbed, so agitated that that immediately Kaliya came to bite Krishna, to kill Krishna. And Krishna purposely agitated Kaliya. He purposefully agitated Kaliya. See, many demons in Krishna Lila, they voluntarily came to attack Krishna, isn't it? Aghasur came on his own, and Bakasur came on his own, Vatsasur, Arishtasur, Keshi, Putana. When they came on their own to kill Krishna, to harm Krishna, then Krishna killed them. But in the case of Kaliya, Kaliya never came to Krishna to kill him. Krishna went to Kaliya to agitate him. In Brahma's case, Brahma personally came to disturb Krishna in his pastimes by stealing his Gopa friends and the little calves. But in Indra's case, Indra never came to Krishna. It is Krishna who agitated Indra. Krishna only stopped this Indra puja, and Indra became agitated. See, in Indra's case and Kaliya's case, there's something common. It is Krishna who went and agitated them. In the case of other devatas and demons, they came to disturb Krishna, but here Krishna disturbed them. Kaliya is peacefully, sorry, so-called peace. Kaliya is peacefully sitting in his lake, not doing any harm to Krishna. It is Krishna who came. See, even if you don't disturb Krishna, if your presence disturbs Krishna's devotees, he will ensure that you will you will have to move out of this place. Right? You may not intend to disturb Krishna, you may not have voluntarily come to disturb Krishna, but even if your mere presence is creating a disturbance to Krishna's devotees, the Vaishnavas, Krishna will ensure that you can't stay there anymore. Simple. I didn't mean to disturb you. Okay, you may not have meant. I didn't voluntarily come to disturb you, but still, your presence is disturbing us. Your mere presence is disturbing us. Sometimes somebody's consciousness could be so poor that even their mere presence can disturb Vaishnava's community. Let us not become like that. Uh, it all depends on our consciousness. When our consciousness is poor, not pure, poor, even if you don't deliberately pinch somebody, your mere presence there will generate that kind of aura, that kind of negative vibrations that people get irritated and bothered. You may be doing your own thing, but still that will irritate us. Somebody may be simply, okay, let me not give any examples. So at least let's not become a disturbance to other devotees. Even if you cannot serve devotees, let's not disturb devotees. So Krishna noticed that this person, this Kaliya, has so much of envy and pride and ego and anger in his heart. He may be sitting in the lake, but his mere presence there is disturbing the vegetation around, birds around, animals and gopas and gopis, and nobody's able to come here. So let me go and do something about him. So he voluntarily went and agitated Kaliya. just as he voluntarily agitated Indra also. Indra, Indra is happily sitting there in his Swargalok, providing rains, receiving worship. He's happy there. But Krishna noticed there is pride in Indra's heart, and I'll take the responsibility of purifying that pride. If you don't take responsibility of purifying your pride by chanting Hare Krishna and cultivating humility, Krishna will have to take responsibility of purifying your pride. Why should we outsource our responsibility? Why should we delegate our responsibility to Krishna? He has so many other things to do. He likes to do pastimes. Actually, for Krishna, playing with the gopas is more exciting than purifying Indra. There are some people, for them, catching somebody doing some mistake and pulling their ears and beating them or whatever, punishing them, that's very exciting, right? But for some people, too much of like whatever, punishing people, catching people, becoming strict with people, they don't take relish in that. They don't relish that. They relish loving exchanges with devotees. Krishna also is like that. He loves to relish simple, sweet, intimate, devotional exchanges with his devotees. But what to do? Some devotees hold some pride or envy or arrogance or ego in their hearts, and Krishna has to take out his time to purify them also. Right? Ideally, Krishna is a very loving person. Generally, uh, intrinsically, Krishna is a very loving and caring person. He doesn't like to become unnecessarily strict with people. He doesn't take pleasure in punishing demons. But demons are acting in a demonic way, so Krishna is obliged to do it. He doesn't like to purify Indra. But because Indra is becoming impure, Krishna says that, okay, I must purify him somehow. But his focus is on Vrajavasis. So let's not increase Krishna's headache by holding pride and envy in our hearts. When a devotee, when a sadhaka has pride and envy and greed and selfishness and many such qualities in the heart, Krishna becomes very concerned. He has to take out his time to purify us. Why should we increase Krishna's responsibilities, duties? So Kaliya has poor consciousness, and Krishna has to make it pure consciousness. When our consciousness is poor, Krishna will make it pure. And that purification process could be very austere for the person who is undergoing the surgery. May not be that easy. So Krishna jumped into Kaliya lake, and Kaliya came out. तं प्रेक्षणीय सुकुमार घनावदतं क्रीडन्तीमप्रतिभयं कमलोदराङ्घ्रिं तं प्रेक्षणीय. Krishna is prekshaniya, means worth seeing. The beauty of Krishna is the worthiest vision that you can ever see. Prekshaniya. Tam prekshaniya sukumara ghanavadatam. Sukumara means very tender. Krishna's bodily limbs are very tender. Ghanavadatam, he has this bodily complexion like that of a monsoon cloud, dark monsoon cloud. Tam prekshaniya sukumara ghanavadatam kridantim apratibhayam kamalodaraghrim. Kridantim, Krishna is happily playing in the water of Kaliya lake. Apratibhayam, he has absolutely no fear of the enemy. Kamalodaraghrim, his udara, his uh, belly is navel-like. Anghrim, his feet are also like lotus-like. Sorry, his navel is lotus-like, and his feet are also lotus-like. Kridantima pratibhayam kamalodaraghrim. But although Krishna's form is so sweet, so beautiful, Kaliya could not get attracted to this beauty. Kaliya sandarsha marmasu rucha bhujaya chachada. What was Kaliya doing? Trying to bite Krishna on his chest like this. Such a sweet form of Krishna that invokes loving feelings and attraction in the hearts of devotees, is inducing envy and anger in the heart of Kaliya. It's not just about the beauty of Krishna or purity of Krishna, it's also about our consciousness. When the consciousness is impure, even Krishna's darshan cannot create an impact on our minds. Because the consciousness of Kaliya or Duryodhan or Shakuni or Jarasandha or Kamsa, the consciousness is so polluted that even Krishna's darshan could not make an impact on them. While seeing Krishna, instead of getting attracted and purified, they are trying to kill Krishna. Can you just imagine the extent of impurity in their consciousness? Impure consciousness. Similarly, we may think, why am I not getting attracted to Krishna's holy names? I'm chanting since 10 years. Still, why am I dozing off? Still, why am I thinking of so many things? Because consciousness is not pure yet. Therefore, we are unable to relish the uh, most relishable holy name of Krishna. Holy name of Krishna is relishable, but we are unable to relish it because consciousness is impure. But how to purify that consciousness? Whether you relish the holy name or not, continue to chant. Then that inattentive, indirect, unconscious, disinterested chanting will purify our consciousness so that one day we can chant with interest and absorption. Right? So continue to chant, even if you're not finding it tasty. One day you'll find the taste. So Krishna, his darshan created envy and anger in the heart of Kaliya, and Kaliya is trying to bite Krishna's chest like this. Then Krishna allowed himself to be bound by Kaliya. Long story. Krishna is swimming in the lake, and Kaliya, with his hundreds of hoods, is chasing Krishna, swimming behind Krishna, and there's a swimming competition between Krishna and Kaliya. And Krishna won for a long time, but Krishna wanted to perform this pastime in a very enchanting way. Krishna lost. Krishna allowed Kaliya to win for a moment, not for 1 moment, for 1 muhurta. What did Kaliya do? Kaliya bound Krishna with his coils. Kaliya completely wrapped Krishna, Krishna's body with with its coils. What a great fortune! What a great fortune! Kaliya embraced Krishna so tightly, so tightly. Krishna bhukta kshira kimugavonu matara. I will not explain the full shloka, but one point there is Angam yasyaha samakramya. All the Putana is saying, Krishna, leave me, don't drink my milk anymore, leave me. But Krishna is not leaving her. Krishna is embracing her so tightly. Angam yasyaha samakramya. Krishna forcefully embraced Putana, and Krishna allowed himself to be forcefully embraced by Kaliya. Krishna is not even saying, leave me, Kaliya, leave me, Kaliya. He's not saying that. He said, okay, fine. You want to embrace me? Embrace me. Tightly. Tight embrace. So Krishna is just becoming like this, and Kaliya is just tightly embracing Krishna. And all the Gopa boys who are on the shore of this Kaliya lake, they became very surprised. My God, this Kaliya embraced Krishna. Maybe next item is Kaliya may kiss Krishna. Poisonous fangs. My God, not one hood. There are 1,000 hoods. With all the 1,000 hoods, if Kaliya starts kissing Krishna with hissing, while hissing, what will happen to Krishna? All the Gopa boys are very much perturbed. Now there's something that's happening in the atmosphere. When Krishna is in this danger, apparently, actually Kali is in danger, but situation is like this. It seemed like Krishna is in danger. So Kaliya completely wrapped Krishna in his coils, and there are bad omens in the sky. There are inauspicious omens in the sky. And my God, all the Vrajavasis sitting in the village, they started perceiving so many bad omens in their bodies, in their minds, and in the atmosphere also. Their bodies. When when the left side of a man's body is kind of vibrating, quivering, it's considered inauspicious. When the right side of a woman is vibrating, it's considered inauspicious. And that's what is happening to all the Brajavasis. And they also saw some kind of inauspicious omens in the atmosphere also. They all became very much concerned, extremely concerned. And these people, these Brajavasis thought that because Krishna went to uh, the forest without Balaramji, maybe Krishna is in some danger. Because Krishna is in danger, we are experiencing some inauspicious omens here. See, when a typical general human being experiences some inauspicious omens, if a businessman, so he feels like his left eye is kind of like uh, vibrating like this, oh, I may get lost in business today. They feel like that, isn't it? So when you perceive some inauspicious omens in your own body, you think that you are going to lose something. You are going to be in danger. But all the Brajavasis unanimously feel that we are experiencing this inauspicious omens because Krishna must be in danger. For them, if Krishna is happy, they are happy. If Krishna is in danger, they are in danger. Simple. Their happiness or distress is very much connected to Krishna's condition. So we are experiencing inauspicious omens means Krishna must be in danger. That is their understanding. And all these Brajavasis, Gopas, Gopis, everyone, they did not lock their homes. They did not lock their treasures. They did not do anything. They just left whatever they have been doing. They ran towards Krishna. They ran towards Kaliya Lake. And how did they know that Krishna is in Kaliya Lake? Krishna's footprints are there. Krishna's footprints are there. None of the Vrajavasis will disturb those footprints of Krishna. वृंदावनम सखि भुवो वितनोति कीर्तिम यद्देवकी सुतपदाम्बुजलब्ध लक्ष्मी गोविंद वेणुमनुमत्त मयूर नृत्यम प्रेक्ष्याद्रिसान्वरतान्य समस्त सत्वम Vrindavanam Sakibhivo Vitanoti Kirtan, the land of Vrindavan is expanding the glories of this entire earthly planet. How? Yadevaki Sutapadam Bhujalabdha Lakshmi. Because Devaki Sutta Krishna's footprints are imprinted on the land of Vrindavan. They are the real ornaments of Vrindavan. Because the land of Vrindavan is constantly touched by Krishna's feet directly. With Krishna doesn't even wear shoes in Vrindavan. That's glorious land. And all the Brajavasis followed the footsteps of Krishna and they reached the shore of Kaliya Lake. And they saw Krishna completely wrapped in Kaliya's coils. And they felt that their life is leaving their bodies. They were crying, they were yelling, they were screaming, they were fainting, they were falling unconscious. And some Gopas, elderly men, they wanted to jump into Kaliya Lake and fight with Kaliya to save Krishna. And Balramji stopped them. Every single Vrajavasi, whether they are human beings, they are Gopas or Gopis or cows or calves or monkeys or peacocks, and everybody is in great anxiety except one person, Balaram. Balaram is smiling. I am Ananta Sesh. I am Seshanag. Krishna never played with me like this. And Krishna is playing with this water snake so much. That is Balramji's perspective. So Balram is smiling and is also consoling and controlling all the Vrajavasis who are getting really perturbed. Then Krishna noticed all these Vrajavasis, they love me so much, and I want to taste their love. So, what is the way of tasting their love? By keeping them in anxiety. If they are anxious, in that anxious state of mind, their love for me increases. And I want to witness or experience that intensified love. The love's temperature increases. I want to witness it. I want to experience it. I want to taste it. A mother loves a child so much. When the child is happily playing here and there, mother is happy. Okay, child is playing. But when the child has some fever or some other disease, child is very sick, lying on the bed, mother's love for the child is increased even more. It becomes twice, thrice, 10 times. Why? That's the nature of pain in this world. Pain increases love. When your beloved personality is undergoing some pain, that increases your attention upon them, love and affection for them. A mother is more attentive to the needs of a child when the child is sick than when the child is healthy. Right? So during sickness, children can experience how much their parents love them. Similarly, when Krishna is in danger, all the Vrajavasis' love for Krishna increases more and more and more. When Krishna is happily playing, they are also happy, definitely. But when Krishna is in danger, their anxiety for Krishna increases. In that, Krishna can taste intensified prema. That's why Krishna allowed himself to be bound by Kaliya's coils for a long time, for one muhurta, for 48 minutes. Kaliya is embracing Krishna for 48 minutes. Were you ever embraced by Krishna for 48 minutes? Or 48 seconds anytime? That would be a lifetime opportunity or lifetime's opportunity. But Kaliya got that opportunity. Kaliya embraced Krishna. Krishna embraced Putana and Kaliya embraced Krishna. So at one point, Krishna saw that all these Vrajavasis are in tremendous amount of anxiety. And in their anxiety, their love for me is visible so much. How much they love me, that's clearly seen in their tears, in their fainting, in their crying and lamenting intensely. Let me experience their prema. See, he experienced, but at one point he realized that if I delay subduing Kaliya anymore, that will only uh, that will only cause the death of all these people. I don't want them to die. I want them to live and love me, and I want to love them. So Krishna then, who was bound in Kaliya's coils, he started expanding his size within Kaliya's coils, and that is not visible so much. You cannot see that Krishna is expanding himself like Vishwarup, but somehow he experienced some expansion. Kaliya experienced some expansion. Now you are holding onto this mic. If the mic is just becoming bigger and bigger in your hands, you just release it, right? Similarly, Kaliya was circling Krishna like this, and Krishna's body is expanding. Kaliya couldn't hold him. He just released. And Krishna, who was released from Kaliya's coils, he immediately jumped on Kaliya's head within the fraction of a second. So Krishna jumped on Kaliya's heads and started dancing on Kaliya's heads. Like even the best of all the dancers in the entire creation cannot dance properly on a slippery stage. Slippery stage. uneven stage. If the stage is not proper, if the stage is like this, like this, like this, like waves, curves, uh, and slippery, you put some oil on the stage. Make a stage not flat with so many curves like this, and put some oil on that. On that, not just oil, put some poison there. Because all the hoods of Kaliya are not only slippery, not only uneven, every single hood of Kaliya is trying to bite Krishna and kill Krishna. And Krishna is dancing on those hoods very harmoniously with proper rhythm. He is like master of all arts. He is Chatushashti Kala Prapurna, means he is master of all 64 arts, whether it is dancing or singing or playing flute or whatever. So Krishna is dancing on every hood of Kaliya. He would, his dance is like pounding, just trying to just uh, like pounding, like pestle they take, right, to grind spices. That's how Krishna is just jumping on every hood, and every hood is just uh, bowing down in front of Krishna and vomiting blood, vomiting poison, vomiting all the envy in the heart. And whichever head wouldn't bow down in front of Krishna, Krishna would jump on that head and dances very vigorously on that head. And then the head has to bow down. Like that, all the hoods of Krishna, hoods of Kali are completely smashed by Krishna's footprints. What a great fortune! What a great fortune. Till now, Kaliya had the fortune of embracing Krishna for 48 minutes. And now Kaliya is having the fortune of being imprinted by Krishna's foot, Krishna's feet on his head, being bathed by Krishna's dust on his head. What great fortune. Should we end here? What is that time? 8:15. Huh? Aarti is okay. Silent. Okay. So Kaliya, uh, Kaliya is bathed by Krishna's dust. Kaliya's all heads of Kaliya are touched by Krishna's feet. Every single head. Now we have one head. Balimaras had one head, and he got the dust of Vamanadev's feet on that one head. But Kaliya had hundreds and thousands of heads. Every single head got the fortune of being touched by Krishna's feet. What a great fortune. See, this kind of fortune Krishna can bestow upon devotees or demons only in Vrindavan, not outside Vrindavan. If somebody happens to have more heads, like, okay, sample one head, I'll touch your one head with my hand or with my feet, you are purified. It may be more practical thing to do. But Krishna took the trouble of, or took the pleasure of dancing on every single head of Kaliya. Every single head of Kaliya. Say if you bring 1,000 laddus to offer to Jagannath. Now, altar mein there is not so much place. We'll take 5 laddus and put on the altar. That's Mahaprasadam. Remaining 995 laddus become prasadam automatically. Take it back. But if you have made 1,000 laddus and the pujari takes all the 1,000 laddus in the altar, all are touched by Jagannath directly on the altar. That's a different feel only, right? So Kali has 1,000 heads, and every single head is bathed by Krishna's dust. That's Kali's fortune. and and mm, when Krishna is dancing on the hoods of Kaliya, all the residents of the upper planets like Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, they gathered in the sky. Some of the Apsaras were dancing along with Krishna. And some Gandharvas, they were singing. And many other devatas were playing musical instruments. And some people did not simply play musical instruments or dance along with Krishna. They stopped their dancing and they're observing Krishna. They took some pen and paper. They're taking notes. Oh, I never knew this step. This, which is Kuchipudi, Kathak, what Kathakali, Bharatanatyam, what exactly is this art? How exactly Krishna is dancing on the hoods of Kaliya? They're taking notes. Not literally. And some people are taking notes on how to play flute because Krishna, at one point, he's dancing and he also picked up a flute and started playing flute. With one hand, he's playing flute. You saw some paintings. With one hand, Krishna is holding the tail of Kaliya. With one hand, Krishna is playing flute, and he is dancing also with his 2 feet. Right? And very harmoniously he's doing it. And that dancing is like a dancing class for all the dancers in the upper planets. And that playing flute is like a music class for all the musicians in the upper planets. All the masters of musical science and masters of dancers, they are coming, they are assembling in the sky to take training from Krishna, 6-year-old Krishna. And all the Vrajavasis on the shores of Kaliya Lake, they're experiencing great joy seeing Krishna dancing like this. Because till now they were hopeless, they were helpless, they were crying, they were falling unconscious and getting up. They were remembering Krishna's pastimes. Because of lack of time, I'm not getting into so many details. I got the way Yashodamata cried on the bank of Kaliya could be described for 1 hour. The way all the Gopas, all the Vatsalya Gopis consoled Mother Yashoda, and how she's unable to console them. And in their attempt to console Mother Yashoda, what all they are doing. That's that's rasa. How could they console? See, when you are freed from pain, you can give some solace or reassurance or consolation to someone who is experiencing pain. But you are also experiencing equal amount of pain. Where is the point? Where is the possibility of consoling someone? That's what all the Vatsalya gopis are experiencing. Their love and affection for Krishna is also on an equal plane, like Yashodamata's love and affection for Krishna. So, anyways, Krishna is dancing on the hoods of Kaliya very happily. Then, just as Kaliya's hood is very slippery, very wet, and poisonous, similarly, our tongue also is wet, is slippery, is poisonous, sometimes speaks very poisonous words. By dancing on the hoods of Kaliya, Krishna purified Kaliya. Similarly, when the holy name of Krishna dances on our tongue, our Kaliya like tongues are also purified, our consciousness is purified. That's how dancing of Krishna and Kaliya's hoods and dancing of Krishna's names on our tongues is compared. Tunde Tandaviniratim Tanute Tundavali Labdhaye Karna Kroda Kadambini Ghatayate Karnarbhute Bhyaspraham चेत प्रांगण संगिनी विजयते सर्वेन्द्रियाणां कृतिम् नो जाने जनिता कियद्भिरमृतैः कृष्णेति वर्णद्वयी तुण्डे ताण्डविनीरतिं वितनुते तुण्डावली लब्धये. So when the holy name of Krishna is dancing on the tongue of a devotee desires millions of tongues. Billions of tongues. One tongue is not sufficient enough to relish Krishna's name or chant Krishna's glories. I want more and more tongues. When the holy name of Krishna is entering in the ear holes of a devotee, ah, devotee feels, I want millions of ears. 2 ears are not sufficient to sufficiently relish Krishna's, the sweetness of Krishna's name. नामानि प्रणयेन ते सुकृतिनां तन्वन्ति तुण्डोत्सवम् धामानि प्रथयन्ति हन्त जलदा श्यामाणि नेत्राञ्जनम् सामानि श्रुतिशस्कुलिं मुरळिका जातान्यलङ्कुर्वते कामानि वृतचेतसामिह विभो नाशामि न शोभते. Namani pranayena te sukritinam tanvanti tundotsavam. Tunda means tongue, utsavam means celebration. The real celebration or the real joy for the tongue of a Vaishnava is to allow the name of Krishna to dance on the tongue. Just as Krishna danced on the hoods of Kaliya. Dhamani prathayanti hanta jalada shyamani netranjanam. The real ointment for the eyes of a devotee is not that different brands of the kajal. It's it's the blackish form of Lord Shyam Sundar. The beautiful form of Shyam Sundar is the real ointment for the eye of a devotee. And what's the real decoration for the ears of a devotee? Samani Shruti Saskuli Muralika Jatanyalankurvate. The real alankara for the ears of devotees is Krishna's flute song. Krishna's flute song or Krishna's name and Krishna Katha in general. That's how we need to utilize all our senses in Krishna's seva. So in this way, Krishna subdued Kaliya and told Kaliya, out. You cannot stay in this place. This place is meant for my devotees. I know you came here because of fear of Garuda, but don't worry. My footprints are there on your hoods, so Garuda will not harm you. You can go happily. There are many, many more details in this beautiful pastime of Kaliya. There are deep emotions. When Nagapatnis come and offer prayers, that's on a different plane. But time up. We will conclude our discussion of Kaliya pastime here. If you have any quick questions and comments, please. Yes.
where I can have all those three mentions of Krishna. Ananyas Chintayantamam Yejana Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam. So, not being in that level, how do we have that confidence
We
in
are in
ourselves, right?
practice stage. Let's practice. Perfection will come later. Ananyas chintayanto mam yejanaha paryupasate. Without thinking of anything, think only of Krishna is difficult for a sadhaka. So we may not remember Krishna every moment, but let's try to remember Krishna every day. That's possible, right? Every day, chanting some prescribed number of rounds. So for a sadhaka, its regularity and consistency matters than constant absorption. Constant absorption takes time, but disciplined, regular, regulated practice of these devotional limbs is practical for us. Let's try. Let's begin with that.
Being not at that level, can we still believe that Krishna is helping us? He is protecting us because in the verse those three are there, but we have not developed those three. So is Krishna still protecting us? Yoga Kshemam
Of
va.
course, Krishna's protection comes in the form of giving us opportunities to associate with devotees, giving us opportunities to chant his names. Although we are not yet up to the mark, he's allowing us to be around with devotees, isn't it? He's allowing us to come to the temple. He's allowing us to chant his names. That is Krishna's mercy. In our sadhaka stage, Krishna's mercy comes in the form of opportunities to practice bhakti in sadhu sangha. As long as you have an opportunity to associate with devotees and practice bhakti, please be assured that Krishna is merciful upon you. Any other question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. You know, when Krishna touches somebody, they're supposed to get a spiritual body. So how come when he's grabbing Kaliya, he's not getting that spiritual body or understanding?
Kaliya became a carrier of Krishna. Kaliya told Krishna, Krishna, wherever you want to go, you call me. Just as Garuda comes and takes you to different places, I will also take you to different places. Please call me. I will become your carrier. Enough. Anything else? Yes, ma'am. Mike.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So Krishna says Dadati Buddhi Yogam. But then if the Nagpatnis are so big devotees, why did they marry somebody like Kaliya? Like how can
I didn't know who arranged for their marriage. How did all these Brahmana Patnis ended up as wives of that ritualistic Brahmanas? They are pure Vaishnavis. And these people are ritualistic karmakandic people. How can a pure Vaishnavi marry a karmakandic person? Or how can these pure Vaishnavis Nagapatnis marry Kaliya? I don't know. I didn't hear. But I know one thing for sure. Although Kaliya embraced Krishna for 48 minutes, although every single head of Kaliya was imprinted by Krishna's footprints and bathed by Krishna's dust, still Kaliya received real mercy from Krishna only when his wives prayed for him. So probably they married Kaliya so that Kaliya could get Krishna's mercy. So the real uh, uh, mercy Kaliya received is through the prayers of the Nagapatnis. So Nagapatnis offered their heartfelt prayers to Krishna, and only then did Kaliya receive real mercy. So sometimes Krishna brings pure devotees also in contact with some people who are not in pure consciousness, so that they will eventually be uplifted by the pure consciousness of these pure devotees. Does it sound reasonable? That is Krishna's mercy. Anything else?
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, in Brajvasis, like you said, that whatever they did was for the happiness of Krishna and they didn't care for their own happiness. So then, but we also see that when these devotees of Krishna are in danger, they call out to Krishna for saving their lives. So then, how do we look at this as? Like the Gwalbals, the friends of Krishna, when they were in danger, they called out to Krishna for saving their lives. So then, how do we understand this?
By default, Krishna is the protector of Vrajavasis, Vrindavan land. But Vrajavasis don't know that Krishna is God, but still Krishna exhibits his godhood right in front of them without disturbing their sentiments as friends or lovers or parents. So their mood in loving Krishna will continue despite seeing Krishna's superhuman activities, but their dependence on Krishna also will continue. One reason is Gargamuni told Nanda Maharaj during his Namakaran ceremony that this child Krishna will have Narayana Samo Gunaihi. He will have qualities equivalent to Narayana's qualities. He is as good as Lord Narayana. So, Brajavasis understand that Krishna has special blessings of Narayana. Krishna is specially empowered by Narayana and is empowered to protect us from all calamities. They say like that. They think like that. Their understanding is also like that only. Because Gargamani said, uh, Gargamani told, this boy, you protect him nicely and he will protect you from all dangers. So that's the understanding of these Vrajavasis. Therefore, they express their dependence on Krishna. But it's not always logical understanding of Gargamani's words when they're dependent on Krishna. It is so natural for anyone to remember whomever they love the most when they're in danger. A child naturally remembers a mother when he is in danger. Not that the mother has the ability to protect. Sometimes the mother also may be equal in same danger, but the child's natural tendency is to depend on the mother or father for protection. without calculating whether the mother or father have the ability to protect. It's very natural for a child to depend. Similarly, the Vrajavasis, whenever they encounter some difficulty, it's very natural for them to remember Krishna. If you want more logical explanation, then bring in Gargamani's perspective. But emotional perspective is, it's natural for them to remember Krishna whenever they're in danger, whenever they're in danger. But their remembrance of Krishna or dependence on Krishna in danger doesn't diminish their friendly nature towards Krishna. They don't come into reverential mode. They continue with their Kevala Prema only. Thank you. Any other question?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, we'll conclude here. 8:35. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Giridhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So let us express our heartfelt gratitude to Prabhuji for such a wonderful enlightening class. By one time loudly